Welcome to the Attractive Man Podcast, where we help men become better men. In these episodes, you'll discover how to improve your dating and relationships, how to break through your mental limits that are holding you back, and how to move through life with confidence and purpose.
So guys, welcome to the Attractive Man Podcast. My name is Jules Bia. I'm with my cohort, my compatriot in the company, David Vibe, and we have our special guest here, Zan Perrion. Now, we're going to be doing segments from this podcast about different topics, and Zan here is, how do I put this? He's not a pickup artist. He is a seducer. He has mastered the energetic emotional dance of really appreciating the beauty of women and connecting with them at a deep level. And these talks are going to be based on that, not on the empty robotic pickup stuff, but the difference that herein lies, I guess, of emotionally and energetically connecting and really appreciating and opening yourself up to the actual beauty that's all around us, and not from the head, but actually from the heart. So guys, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, you like and share this video, and you hit that notification bell to get all notifications, because you don't want to miss this incredible series of talks with me, David, and Zan. It's going to be a lot of fun. And so I want to introduce Zan to the podcast, man. Welcome. It's good to have you on.
Welcome. Thank you.
Oh, man. So I want to talk, you're one of the most inspiring guys to me in this, I guess I don't want to take away from it calling it an industry, but in this realm, because you really teach the guys out there the authenticity in meeting women that a lot of other teachers are missing, right? Instead of say this to get her to like you, it's like, be this man, be your authentic self, because that's what she wants. Take the focus off of you and put it onto her, because that's what she feels and responds to. So I want to start off by asking you, because this is the biggest thing that's missing with especially a lot of guys who are starting and even intermediates, and that's sexual tension. So, Zan, what's your definition of sexual tension, and how do you recommend that guys start learning how to feel and create it?
That's a good question. First of all, we don't have any sexual tension. We're completely asexual. You know, I always tell guys it's time to come out of the closet as a heterosexual. You know, come out of the closet and demonstrate you have this energy. Our sexual nature is what we've been hiding our whole lives, because we're afraid of it, and we're afraid the world will see something and judge us, or see something toxic in it or bad in it. So the idea is that the sexual tension is not a creepy energy or a strong chauvinistic type of leering type of like staring at her boobs type of energy. It's not that at all. It's it's this. I'm a man. I recognize I'm a man. I was born, since I was very young, I love the shape of a female body. I love the feel of that. I love the smell of a woman. I like to look at women. I like to have that energy around me, and I will not apologize for it. And so you have this embrace in your heart of who you are, and you don't listen to society and social media that says, oh, you can't do that because blah, 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 right? You say, no, this is who I am. I love it. And you bring that forth fully formed and fully embraced. And this is who I am. I'm a man who likes women. So the sexual tension comes from you embracing that in your heart and interacting with women and not explaining and trying to dissipate that tension. So a lot of, like, in a kind of more practical way, most of my communication with women is unverbal. It's not communicated from my voice at all. I talk about subcommunication in my book. I talk about it in my programs. And it's the subcommunication is the eighth wonder of the world. It's magnificent. It's what Casanova had. It's had all these greats had. They would look at a woman out of the side of their eye, the side of their mouth, the side of their smile, and women could feel it. It's like, it's like the quantum entanglement, like when you put photons out this way and she receives it, there's an entanglement happens. It doesn't matter if she goes to the other side of the party, over here, whatever, it's not lost. There's an entanglement happens. And so that tension, we are breaking the tension by doing a lot of fast talking. Talk, 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 impress, 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 joke, joke, joke. Hope you like me, hope you like me. We have all this fast talking and we break the tension. And the greatest of the legendary, quote unquote, men who have women in their lives sit in tension. They will say something strong and then they'll sit and they'll zip up their lip and they'll smile and just look at her until she breaks the tension, Mm-hmm. Like I said to guys, and you guys might benefit from this. If you want to learn what it feels like to sub-communicate, to communicate without your voice, without saying something, practice this. The next time a waitress comes up to you, or next time some woman comes into the presence of you, imagine this. Compliment her. This is your task. Compliment that girl without saying a word. How would you do it? How would you compliment, for instance, the way her dress is? You like her dress, and you like her red lipstick. How would you compliment with it if you couldn't say a word? And guys go, well, you tell me what should I do? Figure it out. If you're forced to, you have no voice and you have to compliment that girl. What would you have to use? You would have to use your eyes, the sparkle of your eyes. You would have to use the smile, the expression, your body language as you turn your whole body towards her. You would have to imagine complimenting a waitress on the way she looks and you think she's pretty and you can't say a word. That's sub-communication. And that's what women are doing constantly. And men it's like this radio channel or, radio station that is flying through the air constantly, but men don't have the receiver. So just, you don't hear it. It's silent. As soon as you turn the receiver on, now squeak, and now you're hearing all these different communications from women. So when you learn that, how to communicate with your eyes, Shakespeare said the eyes are the balcony of the soul. When you communicate from your eyes, you communicate from your smile, from the energy that you radiate, your whole life will change. And nobody knows this. We think I have to say this, I memorize this line, I say this, I have to go to Toastmasters so I can be joking or know how to talk. You don't need any of this kind of training. You just have to emit these photons of desire, which is great. Desire is different than neediness. We think we have to be aloof and pretend I have got options but that's not neediness, to be desired. Like I said in the earlier videos, the king's walking through his kingdom and he sees this girl and he pauses and he tells his attendants, you wait here. And he walks over to her and says, I've never met you before. Who are you? You look pretty to me. I would like to see you again. That's great desire and it's not needy. And it's highly complimentary, which we think we can't compliment. So
being that I'm in Colombia, when I'm dating women here, it's like I speak Spanish like an 8-year-old. And so it helped me become even better at my body language, at my feelings for the desire for her, the way that I look at her. And despite having a really limited ability to speak, there's still humor, there's still connection, there's still banter, there's still playfulness because it's all between the lines. And even if I say something that's nonsensical that I think makes sense, it's almost like she understands and is on the same page. And then from that attention, from that presence that I give her, she also returns the patience of, hey, he's trying.
Yeah, that's great.
I dated a lawyer in the beginning of this year. Very beautiful blonde girl. I was actually I was on a run, and the photons, right? I saw her in a restaurant. I don't know why, but it was probably from 40 feet away, but I just saw her and I felt her energy, and I was like, oh my God, if she was on the sidewalk, I know I would talk to her. I'm not going to run in a restaurant in my exercise clothes, hey, be a little bit weird. But I'm running back down the hill, and guess who's on the sidewalk, right? And she was with her friend, so I went right up to her. And as soon as I walked up to her, her friend looked at me and she just crossed the street because she knew what was happening. Because she absolutely knew why I was there. So she got out of the way. And, you know, got her number. We had a great connection even just there because I just felt the turn on in my body for her. And I remember I was a little bit nervous about going on the first date with her because I was like, this is a lawyer and she articulates the Spanish language at a very, very, very advanced level. So I was a little bit intimidated. Getting onto the date, there were the nerves in the beginning, but I was punching through and I was present with her, right? And I was seeking to understand. And I guess it also helps when you don't speak the language because you're almost forced to really, really listen so you can catch the details. But it ended up going really great, and we developed a connection, this playfulness, even though I couldn't speak that I couldn't articulate that well. And then I took her out after we, you know, went to the restaurant. And just on the dance floor is where my energy really comes out, where my turn on really comes out. And I create this like cocoon of appreciation and turn on around her. And she just, you know, she was like, oh, he's a white guy from Canada. He can't dance. And then I showed her. But yeah, it's so important. And it's a big thing that guys are missing when you just look in her eyes and you can feel that pressure rise in your body. I remember the first time, in fact, that I felt sexual tension with a woman, and it was this woman I was talking to and flirting with at this festival in Vancouver. This is when I really first learned and experienced it, and I remember just stepping into her, and this energy rose in my body, and she was like, I was like, and then after I just grabbed her and I just started making out with her, and it was beautiful. It was really, really powerful. And like you said, guys will never understand this until they've experienced it, because we grow and we change through experience. So can you tell us a story maybe about, I would love to hear the first time you really experienced that, when you're like, okay, this is that secret sauce. This is what I've been missing.
Well, yeah. I mean, like me in my head in my early years, completely analytical. You know, and in my head, trying to say the right thing, hesitating to try and come up with something cool to say, analyzing, and then afterwards, laying in my bed at home, like rerunning the whole thing. And I could have said this. Why didn't you say that? What an idiot you are! You know, that whole dynamic of second guessing yourself in the moment and afterwards. You know. You know, I'll tell you a quick story. When in Vancouver too, when I was young, I was maybe 20, 21 years old. And I remember I was like completely lost, and like I'd go to the bars by myself, and no girls were interested in me at all. And I remember I was trying, and I was the one, quote unquote, doing the chasing, even though I was not even showing up. So I wasn't even doing that, you know, I was pretending I was. And I walked out of this bar one time and kind of like in sadness and frustration. And there was a girl sitting down off to the side in a little bench. Beautiful girl. I'll never forget this. And she looked at me, she smiled at me, and she looked, and I looked out and I looked at her, and she was sitting out there by herself. She says, hi. I said, hi. She said, what's your name? Huh? And I went, and she said, come sit here for a second. And I sat down. This girl was out of my league, quote unquote, you know?
Yeah.
And I was shocked. And she was so soft and so kind and so angelic and so giving and loving. And I talked to her for 5 minutes. And she said, I'm from this other part on Vancouver Island, and I'm just here visiting, and I have to go. And it was nice to meet you. And I'm happy I got to talk to you, and you're sweet, and you're a lovely guy. And I wish I could talk to her, but I have to go. And she wandered off into the night.
Yeah.
Never saw the girl again in my life, you know. But she had an impact on me that to the point that all these years later, I still tell the story about her. Mm-hmm. I'll never forget. There was a girl who was kind and generous to me in a feminine way, and gave to me in that, you know, the first time I ever felt it in my life. I thought, how, you know, all these other women are like challenging and an aggressive energy and suspicious about your motives. And she was just open-hearted. And I thought, you know, like, this is what I want. And so men who listen to this story absolutely can remember a time in their life when they met somebody like that, and absolutely can, Maslow talked about peak experiences where you have these moments in life where something was firing on all cylinders, and it was just a beautiful moment, right? And a moment that you remember, one of these moments that define your life, and that was one of them. This girl, 5 minutes with this girl, right? And then you think, and I still think about her occasionally today, and I still talk to her, talk about this story, and I talk about the girl, but I don't know her name, nothing about her, right? Imagine that she had an impact on me on that level. Imagine that you, in your life, have an impact on a girl on that level. Imagine that some girl is thinking 20 years later about this guy that I met. I met him for 5 minutes, and I can't stop thinking about it. What he gave me was such a beautiful. Imagine you're that angel for somebody else.
Yep.
And so that really, really set my heart in motion. Say, I want nothing less. I want abundance. I want adoration. I want to have devotion to my girl. I want devotion in return. I don't want to have this. Well, she didn't text me for 3 days. Should I text her now? I want to be excited. Yeah. She comes into my bed and I'm like trying to convince her. I don't want that. I want her to be delighted and full of joy to be there because I am. Yes. I'm excited. You're in my bed or you're in my life, and I'm excited for that. And I don't want to hide it or be aloof or trying to pretend. I want full force, and I want her to have that too. And when you have that in your life, when you have this great girl in your life who gives you that full energy of adoration and devotion to you, so you can give it back, right? It's what men are starving for.
Yeah, it's magical. And I remember a time also in Vancouver where I was walking down Comox. I used to live at Butte in Comox in the village there. And it was nighttime, it was dark, and there's this beautiful blonde girl, very petite girl, and it was only the two of us walking. And this is when I was starting to really feel and be able to transmit my intention and energy. I flashed her a flirty gaze and we locked eyes. And I felt immediately her energy just shrank. And I sensed that she was very afraid because, I guess, it's nighttime. I'm a guy, she's a woman, there's nobody else around. And she slowed down and I ended up walking ahead of her because I was kind of crossing over the street. My house or my apartment was on this side. And I remember this gut feeling of like, wait for her at the corner. My analytical mind is like, you're going to be a creep. You're going to creep her out. She's already scared. And I was like, but I just had this gut feeling. And my heart was telling me I had a message to deliver to her, like being that angel, right? And so she walked up and I said, hey, I just want to tell you something. I sense that you're scared, but men do not want to hurt you. Men want to protect women. There was nothing in my heart that wanted to hurt you. When I saw you, I genuinely appreciated you. And I want you to know that you don't have to be afraid of men, because most of us men want to protect and appreciate women. And it was like something happened, like this energy just like flowed through us, and it was almost like a healing for both of us. And we stood there and we talked for like 10 minutes, and it was like a dance. And at the end of it, I didn't even ask for her number because I was so satisfied. My heart was so full from the connection and the healing that we had experienced together. And it's funny because 3-4 months later, I saw her and she was completely different. She was telling me about her life, and she's like, all these new people have been coming into my life and I'm making friends all over the place. And it was like, and again, even there, I didn't go for her number. I was just at this peace in my heart that I helped this woman. And that she also helped me go into a deeper sense of myself and feeling. And so that really resonated with me of talking about being that angel that person talks about 20 years later, because I believe that me having the courage to risk being that creep that's waiting for her at the corner of the block in the middle of the night when I knew she was scared, I had that courage to step into that, and it was life transforming for both of us.
Imagine she's 20 years from now, she's saying, there's that guy one time, I'll never forget him. Yeah. I'll never forget that guy, and she's talking about you. Yeah. What a thought.
That's really cool how we can touch people's lives, and I just want to I want to really highlight to the guys that are listening. I really didn't need to get her number. I was just satisfied with that human connection and that abundance mindset that I can create that. I felt like I was going to, maybe it was the nice guy in me at the time too, but I felt like I was going to just spoil that whole moment if I was like, okay, now let's see this. So we just went off our own separate ways, and it was beautiful, and it was a memory that I'll cherish for the rest of my life, for sure.
Yeah, there you go.
What would you recommend to guys who are wanting to learn how to create that tension and how to get into their, as you talk about in your book and your teachings, like that lower energy?
Well, number one is to be aware that it's available to you, and it's available to all men because we're born as men. Like yep. I'm not up on this new social energy of we're all gender fluid. I believe in men and women. So you're a man. You love women. You like a heart-shaped ass. That's infused in you from the creation of you. That was like born in you from your ancestors. From your warrior ancestors, from all the cultures or the culture you're from all the history, centuries, it came down to you, So first of all, be aware of it, and then embrace that spirit, and don't apologize. No more defending yourself, and no more explaining, and no more apologizing for your desires as a man. Don't apologize to anybody if you did not cause offense. No, I didn't want you to. Like guys will say something. They'll say something kind of funny, and a girl will go, well, what do you mean by that? And they're challenged, and they go, no, what I meant, no, I was just trying to be funny. And they start explaining. They start defending themselves. Don't defend yourself. Don't explain yourself. She's just a girl. Yep. Speak your truth. Stand on this earth. If you gave no offense and you were just trying to be funny or energetic or whatever, and someone takes it wrong, that's not your responsibility, So own that energy and your sexual spirit. Start to really feel it and really be in love with the idea that you're a man and you love women and you like and you want to have the beloved in front of you. Yes. You want to have someone that you adore and she adores you, and you want to have this sexual experience with her, and you want to have this abundance of experiences, for instance, right?
Yeah.
And don't apologize for a drop of it. Don't defend yourself. Don't explain. Well, what do you mean? You think you are blah, blah, blah. And you say nothing. Because no
What's
more
up? I have a cock and balls. What do you expect?
Exactly. This is who I am. This is my spirit, my life. I mean no harm. I'm here. I come in with offerings and peace. And you could feel like offended if you want, but it's not my responsibility. Yeah.
From my experience, those girls that do the, oh, what do you mean? And then if you keep going and they are kind of a little worried, that then these girls remember you. Exactly what you said.
Well, exactly. The ones that are going like, the ones who challenge you like this, who do you think you are? Yeah. You're in. I promise you. That girl likes you. Yeah. If you talk to a girl and she says, well, listen, I'm not interested. I have a boyfriend. She says it flat and plain and kind. She's telling you something and it's real. But if she goes, no, I have a boyfriend. No, she likes you and you're in.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's 100% on. That's 100% on. If they're animated and loud when they're challenging you, yeah, you're in, and you can just calm, relax because the girl likes you. You can do whatever you want. And if the girl's like saying it flat and quiet, and listen, you need to understand, I'm not interested. I have a boyfriend. That's the difference.
It's so funny. I mean, even when they're being like completely honest with you that they have a boyfriend, like I remember this one girl, beautiful girl I approached in the subway in New York, and I don't know what the hell came out of me, but it's very Zan Perrion-esque. I said, I had to come and talk to you because you are a sparkling fountain of feminine energy, and I just wanted to come and drink from you. And she was like, wow, I have a boyfriend. And I was like, are you happy? She's like, yes. She said it right away, just like flat, but she was just like enamored and like looking me up and down. And I felt that it was genuine. And I was like, I don't want to steal her away from.
Yeah, of course not. No, that's real. And she told you in a kind way,
Yeah.
No problem there.
It's like some of our students take that as a rejection. Even what you're saying, like when they get animated and they're like challenging you, they think that's a rejection, and it's so crazy how subtle women can be, and also how obvious they can be through their subtleties, right? And this is what guys really got to learn, to be able to pick up those signals and feel that sexual tension.
Exactly.
Zan, you have a community of like-minded men that I really love, and I want to invite you to speak about it and encourage guys to join us. So would you like to share some words about it?
Yeah, it's not for everybody. Like, there's only a few that are really drawn to this kind of conversation we're having now, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of guys go, I don't get it. But for the ones who really vibrate with this and feel like, wow, this is what I've been trying to understand, we have a great community called the Amarati. And Ars Amorata is fake Latin for, like the art of love. And the Amarati is just a made up fake Latin word too, which means our brotherhood. And the Amarati, we've got members all over the world. And we have members that are over a decade, like years, like 12, 13 years. And we have a conference twice a year, a free conference for the men. We've done it in different cities, from Valencia, Spain, to Copenhagen, to Las Vegas. We have a conference. We have 70, 80 guys show up from around the world. And a lot of these guys, you look at them, and they've been friends for years and years. They've done road trips together. They've been gatherings. So we have this great, strong community. I mean, there's at least 30 guys that have this Ars Amorata A tattooed on their body somewhere.
Yeah.
Get a ring. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
So we have strong buy-in. We've got this great community of men, great conversation, gatherings twice a year, the conferences twice a year that are free. We have a big party, bring all the girls we know, speakers for 2 days, and it's free to members. And it's this, and to become a member, we want guys who are really committed to this path. So it's a 90-day journey to get to a 90-day course. We call the Essentials program. They have to take to graduate as an Amarati. You don't just take anybody into the door. We want people to have gone through this process. And so if anybody's interested, go to amarati.net, AMORATI.net.
We're going to have the link in the description, so don't worry.
If you're interested in joining this community, it's a brotherhood, and we're going to be talking in the future, as we do now in our secret group, or our secret Facebook group sort of thing, about art, beauty, physics, science, futurism, everything that's happening. We want to know, and we want to be on the cutting edge of that. So if you want to be a member and you think you're called to this, then sign up for that. It's like we only have the course, the 90-day course, running twice a year. If you want to go on the wait list, and we'll get you signed up, sort of thing. So,
and yeah, guys, surround yourself with like-minded men. If this content resonates with you, then surround yourself in it, because as men, we're tribal. We need other men, okay, to grow, to be able to share with, to especially learn true vulnerability, right? And the ability that you have to actually connect with other men directly impacts your ability to connect with women. It's very important, and a lot of guys overlook it and only focus on trying to connect with women. You have to have strong roots in your masculinity, and that is, I mean, in the tribal days, we went out and we hunted in packs, right? We fight wars in packs, right? In entire armies, right? We need each other as men. So I highly recommend it. And guys, if you like this content, make sure you hit that big red subscribe button. All right? I'm gonna get a little weird right now, so you remember. Woo, woo. Like the video, share it with all your brothers, and make sure you hit that notifications bell, because we're going to have several segments with Zan here, and lots of other amazing guests on our podcast, great discussion, and of course, all the content you've always loved from the attractive man, the honest dating advice, no bullshit, no pick-uppy stuff, the real stuff, and more of the awesome vibration of seduction. So yeah, thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
Excellent. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Zan.
Appreciate it. See you guys soon, huh?